Hi, my name is Debra Levantrosser. I am a faculty member here at the University of Michigan. I teach in the Industrial and Operations Engineering Department within the College of Engineering. I'm teaching a super fun course called Negotiation Skills. And to show that I really know my negotiation topic, I have 30 years of experience in corporate America and also 20 years of experience as a successful entrepreneur. As you can imagine, a course called Negotiation Skills is going to be all about how to negotiate successfully. But one of the most important things that you have to have when you negotiate successfully is confidence. So in this course, we're going to teach not only negotiation skills, but also how to be confident when you are negotiating. We're also going to delve into this, to human psychology. Why do people talk the way they do? Why do they ask for things that they do? So we're going to get into some of the psychology as well, and it's going to be a great course. In our lives, we have the opportunity to negotiate every single day. In our personal lives, in our professional lives. If you think right now, when was the last time you asked for a raise? Have you ever asked for a raise? When was the last time you bought a house, sold a house, hired a lawyer, went to a garage sale? All of those are examples of opportunities to negotiate. So this course will be about tips and tricks that you can use in both your personal and your professional life. So there's really 3 reasons why I think negotiation is important today. And number 1 is that people don't realize how many things are actually negotiable. And so in this course, we're going to talk about the things you may never have even thought of that are negotiable. For example, I was talking to somebody the other day. They were transferring course credits from one college to another. They were given a decision and they thought, I'm not really too happy with that decision. She negotiated with the university to get above and beyond the amount of credits that they normally take. She never would have done that had she not taken my course. The second thing is that, let's face it, everybody, money is tight today. And a lot of times negotiation is about money. So that's the second reason why I really think negotiation is important. And then thirdly, I don't like to see people get taken advantage of. And I think sometimes people do get taken advantage of, and I think if they stood up for themselves a little bit more and actually tried to negotiate, they would end up on the good side of the deal. Another interesting thing we're going to cover in this course is the evolution of negotiation. I actually think we might have gone backwards in negotiation skills as a society. If you think back to the hunter and gatherer days, negotiation was a matter of survival, actually. You wanted to get as much as you could get for giving as little as you could. And I think we've gotten away from that a little bit. So today, I think in society, we may have lost the art of negotiation. So I want to bring that art back. We start the course by talking about human psychology. You cannot start a negotiation course without understanding how the brain works. And the fact that everybody's slightly different, but yet there are some similarities between all of us. We are human animals. We are going to talk about the animalistic nature of human beings. Then we're going to talk about empathy and the need for empathy. When you negotiate with somebody, you actually have to not only think about yourself, you also have to think about the other side. There's somebody else you're negotiating with. What do they want? Try to see the perspective of the person that you're negotiating with. So we're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about just what is negotiating in general. And then we're going to use a book called Never Split the Difference. So this was written by an FBI negotiator, a hostage negotiator. So you might think, well, that's pretty extreme in terms of negotiation. Yes, but what he does is he takes all the things that he's learned from being an FBI hostage negotiator and he applies it to real life. So I'm super excited that we're going to use that book. And then I'm also going to talk about the situation in which you're negotiating. You might be negotiating over the phone. You might be negotiating over email. You might be negotiating over text. You might be negotiating face to face. Those are all different situations. You might have people with you. You might not be alone when you're negotiating. You might not know the other person. There's so many situations. So we're going to talk about situational negotiation, and then we're going to talk about some of my secrets. So some of my secret tips and tricks. How do you negotiate a lower hotel room rate? How do you negotiate a lower cell phone bill? How do you negotiate all different kinds of things? So come to my class and you'll learn all these little tips and tricks. So the tools and methodologies that we're going to cover in this course, there's a wide spectrum of them. So we're going to talk about everything from a small situation that may not be that important, like at a garage sale, to something like when the UAW negotiates with Ford Motor Company. And we're going to talk about all the different methodologies used in those different situations. So there's 4 things about this course that make it unique and special, in my opinion. Number 1 is, yes, participants will be learning from me and they'll be learning from the book, but they're also going to be learning from each other. I don't know everything about negotiation. So we're going to talk about things that maybe have worked or didn't work, so people will be learning from each other. The second reason is it's very interactive. It is not going to be me up there talking for 4 hours. The third reason is you will walk out of the door with real practical tips that you can use that night when you go to pay your bill at the restaurant. And the fourth is it's going to be fun and enjoyable. So you're going to want to take this course. A takeaway from this course is going to be knowing when you can negotiate and knowing when you should negotiate. Those are very different things. So we're going to talk about that. And then one other thing that I think gets lost in negotiation courses is being on the other side. What if someone's trying to negotiate with you? How do you be a good negotiator on the other side? So that's another thing that students are going to take away. And then real tips and applicability that they can take and use at work and home immediately. I think there's 5 groups of people really that should attend this course. The first group obviously is those who want to learn about negotiating. Maybe you were never taught about negotiating and you just want to learn what is it and how do I do it. I think the second group is those who really want to build their confidence. I think a lot of the reasons why people don't negotiate is not only that they don't know how or don't know what negotiation is, but they just don't have the confidence to do it. The third group of people is anyone who really wants to get into psychology. Like if you really want to learn about the psychology of why we think the way we do and why we make the decisions we do, and if you're truly curious about people, like I am, you're going to want to attend this course. The fourth group, I kind of grouped into one category, but I think definitely those under 30 definitely need to understand the skill and the art of negotiating. I think women, a lot of times, don't ask for what they should. So I think this is a great opportunity for women to build their confidence. And if you've always wanted to negotiate and just never knew how, this is the course for you. So we have the opportunity to negotiate almost every day of our lives. The question is whether we should. It can get kind of old if we do it all the time, right? And it won't be as successful. In our personal lives, if you think about hotel rooms, if you think about your cell phone bill, if you think about selling or buying a home, selling or buying a car, we're going to talk about those situations. And then on the professional side, the biggest one is compensation and sticking up for yourself and looking at your whole compensation package, not just your salary. People forget that when you negotiate what you get paid at work, it's not just your salary. It's the whole compensation package. So we will talk about that. And then maybe you have a role at work where you deal with suppliers. Or maybe you are a supplier, right? So we'll talk about some of those real life negotiation issues. Well, you have to have a plan for change management when you negotiate. Don't ever expect a negotiation to go smoothly. Okay, let me just get that out of your head right now. Very rare that they will go smoothly. So you have to be ready for conflict. If it doesn't happen, great, no conflict. But if it does happen, you want to be ready. So change management, on the other hand, is being ready, willing, and able to make a change. Whether it's with conflict or with something else, let's just say you are ready to negotiate, ready to make a change, able to make a change, and then you make the change. So that's the change management piece. That kind of comes after the negotiation, although you can use it during negotiation as well. And then strategic planning is another function that organizations have that is relevant to negotiation. So strategic planning is a long process. When you are doing all your research for strategic planning, negotiating with your boss, negotiating with other sources of information is going to come in very handy.